What's up, folks? Welcome to another edition of Billy the Kid's No Bullshit Toy Reviews. And today, courtesy of one of my subscribers, we are taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Armada Universe Starscream. This is an updated take on the Armada Starscream, who is a pretty cool character. He's probably one of the best parts of the entire Armada cartoon. It wasn't very well done. He was developed pretty well, though, in my opinion. It's a nice update to the figure. It's got engineering cues that I really like, but it does fall short for me just because of Hasbro's QC. There's just some things that keep this from being an absolutely amazing figure. But let's get into it. Here he is in his jet mode. All right, head on, underneath, side, and top. He looks just like Armada Starscream. Very well done. He's got the Star Saber, I think the sword was. It's very small. Should be more like Star Dagger. I don't know why they would have included this. He's got this piece here, which on the original figure was a part of his wing that would come off and serve as a sword, but they just made it a separate piece here. He does not have a mini-con, and the whole thing with Armada was these mini-cons. And he would peg into his back, and it would let these pieces here flip forward and become cannons. And the whole point of the Armada gimmick is not there. So Hasbro, you definitely lose some points with me for not going through 100% with an Armada Universe Starscream. Let's flip these back. There is no landing gear whatsoever. He just sits like so. It's a faithful recreation minus the mini-con gimmick. I do wish they included that. He looks nice, though. I've seen complaints about paint chipping. I have no issues with the paint on my figure, so I can't add that as an issue here. Mine is mainly just QC and the lack of the mini-con. I'm going to transform this guy, and we're going to talk about his robot mode next. All right, here we have Armada Starscream in his robot mode. And he's good. He looks the part. He's very nice, but some of the paint's wrong. These feet should have been gray. There's some other areas that are just missing some highlights. This here doesn't line up at all. And if you were to go with the official instructions, this piece here, you would flip these down, and this is supposed to slide into these slots. But when you do that, it doesn't peg closed. So just go the way the original figure was, and you can peg him closed. Now, head sculpt is beautiful. All right, I'm going to give them so many points for that head sculpt. Plastics at the shoulders and arms are fantastic, but the legs are very loose on my copy, and these pieces don't want to stay tabbed together, so it's a little frustrating. It's something that if they would have stayed on top of their QC, this guy would have been an absolute 100% recommend. Let's get into it. Head's on a ball joint, looks up all the way, looks down, full 360. There's a little bit of tilt, but they did the ball joint at the back of the head, so you don't get as much of that side-to-side tilting. Shoulders come up this far. They rotate. You can move the wings and get the full rotation, okay? Very nicely done. You've got a bicep swivel. You've got a double bend at the elbow. Absolutely no rotations at the wrists whatsoever. Little disappointed with that. Sorry, guys. His legs just bend forward. There is waist rotation. Not all the way. It's hindered by this giant, piece of his cockpit. But there's enough. Legs, more than the full Van Damme. All right. Very posable at the legs. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so he can stay. Thigh swivel. Excellent bend at the knee. Ankle rockers, and the feet go up and down. These pieces here, this whole piece flips forward. Done very nicely. All right, there are awesome gimmicks here. All right, however, sometimes I plop this piece off. Again, part of that whole QC thing. I will give them this. The original figure okay, had a ton of hollow parts. And this guy's hollow, don't get me wrong. But they covered everything up. So they get points for that. They get a lot of points for that in my book. Right, so if you want them to look like the original toy, you can do that. If you want them to be animation accurate, though, bring that piece down. All right. He holds his sword just fine. And he holds the Star Saber just fine. As I said, this guy's very posable. You're not going to have any issues playing with him. From an engineering standpoint, this guy is fantastic. Absolutely beautifully done. Transformation's good. The design's good. Articulation's good. I wish he had the wrists that rotate, but, you know, we get a lot. So I'm not going to complain about it. I do, however, wish that they would have stepped up their game again with their QC. He's very loose. Pieces pop off. So there's areas where Hasbro can improve, in my opinion. But if you're a fan of this character, you will not at all be disappointed. One bit. There's no way you're going to be disappointed with this figure. He is fantastic. So to my sub that gifted this to me, thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate it. I love it. I have spent more hours than you will ever know playing with this figure with my son. It's a daily go-to figure. So this is a great one. This is a great figure. Just wish Hasbro would step up their game a little bit. As always, check out my sponsors, St. Mark's Comics, down in the link below. To my Patreons, thank you for your continued support and belief in my channel. If you like what you see, please give me a like and subscribe. This is Billy the Kid signing off.